YouTube channel. My name is Michael Mastro, and this is Transformational Vedic Astrology. Today we're going to look at the chart of Ed Asner, who passed away August 29th, 2021. And he's an actor and been in hundreds of shows and movies and plays. He died when he was 91, had fairly good longevity. So let's look and see how his chart is operating. If you looked, first we want to look and see how the planets are operating. So if we look at the birth chart, we can see there's 5 planets or three planets and one of the nodes in the first house. And we pay attention to the Multrikona sign houses, which are 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. So they tend to show us what this person is working on in this lifetime. So he's working on, you have the first sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, in the 7th house of partnerships. So he's working on partnerships. They're key to his life. And he did have a couple marriages. Then we have the 4th sign of Cancer, ruled by Moon in the house of career, working on perfecting his ability to act, his career. And then we have the 5th sign of Leo, ruled by Sun in the house of income and social connections and fulfillment of desires. So he's working on all of that. Then we have the 6th sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury in the 12th house, working on his ability to separate himself and play these roles that he did in his parts. And then we have the 7th sign of Libra, which he is a Libra. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Libra rising at 16 degrees, which becomes the most effective point of every house. So any planets that are close, like Rahu and Ketu, and like Mercury, have a lot of impact in the chart, as well as Jupiter. So he's working on his life purpose, his longevity, his image, his fame. And then we have the 9th sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter in the house of performing arts, acting. And then we have the 11th sign of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, in the house of entertainment and creativity, education, and children. All of that he's working on. So let's see how these planets are operating. Sun is in old age at 29 degrees. Any planet that's more than 25 degrees or less than 5 degrees is weak. And so it's weak. It rules the house of income and gives income through his ability to be confident in his acting and his career, and gives him political ambitions to be an activist. He's very involved in lots of political issues, AIDS and advocate for autism, etc., children's causes. Now, when the sun is weak in the first house, which is the head and the body, this person, sun is connected to hair. So he could be bald, he was. And he could also have heart issues. He did have strokes. And if the moon is, and some weight issues, overweight. And then the moon is ruling the house of career, placed in the house of partnership. So he connects his career to his partnerships, like with his agents and the people who got him the parts, and then relationships and partnerships with his acting co-actors. So that's all connected. Then we have Mars. Mars is ruling that house of partnerships, placed in the house of fame. So connects wealth and fame and the stability in his marriage with his partnerships. And so it can create some stress in partnerships from time to time, but it gives a lot of compassion, drive, courage and in his relationships. He was also in the military for part of a little bit of time. So there's that. And then Mercury, any Multicona sign in the 6th, 8th, or the 12th um, that makes the ruler of that sign of a malefic. So in this chart, Mercury becomes malefic, and it is just barely outside the range, I think. Yeah, it's not Multicona, but it can cause harm in the transit chart. It's not afflicting anything that I can see. I mean, it's afflicted by K2, but that's not going to change much. So, anyway, Mercury gives them, again, that ability to separate himself from himself and take on these roles, acting roles. And he is involved in children's organizations, which is the remedy for a malefic Mercury. Then we have Jupiter ruling the house of entertainment or performing arts, placed in the house of research. So his ability to research his roles for his parts that he plays, very much connected to his success in performing arts. Then we have strong Venus, best planet in his chart, really is the planet that, the first house is afflicted by Rahu and Ketu. So it's a little bit weak, but Venus is in its own sign and it's giving that ability to act and entertain people, be charismatic, have a strong image. And that's what really gave him his success in his acting career. And I think it helped his longevity, even though that house is weakened. So Venus is also connected to his wife, and Jupiter's connected to children, so he had 4 kids. His wife was also an actress, probably supported him in a lot of ways because it's hard to be married to an actor. They're always busy and can be really detached from the relationship. I think it was his second wife that's the actress. Anyway, yeah, Saturn gives him creativity through entertainment, discipline, focus, hard work, and to learn his parts, and gives him good longevity. It is a little bit weak because Jupiter is weak. A planet cannot be stronger than its landlord or its dispositor. So there's a little bit of weakness there. Rahu and Ketu are close to, within 3 or 4 degrees of the most effective point. This 1-7 relationship is balancing your needs with your partner's needs. And it gives the insights into his life purpose, the acting, and gives desire for these partnerships. Let's look at the timing of events because not everything happened all at once. So the root of his tree of life is Saturn. So again, entertainment connected to his life purpose. In 51, he was drafted during a Mercury period, again, kind of creating that separation. He didn't really want to be in the military, so he felt really a little isolated there. 77 through 82 was, his TV drama years, got a lot of awards for his roles in those parts, Emmys, they call them, and I think 10. And so that period was his moon period, again connecting career with the partnerships on the on-screen roles and his the guy that, his agent that got him the roles. 81, it was canceled. Even though it was still very popular, he had a lot of left-wing political views, even concerning some things with the 9/11 conspiracy theories. And so that was a Mercury period. So it caused the end of that TV drama called Lou Grant. and he was Lou Grant. He played the role of Lou Grant, a cantankerous boss in an office. Then in 1995, he had hip surgery during a Jupiter period. Jupiter is hips, is related to the hips. 2013, he had a stroke during a Mercury period that caused hospitalization and surgery, and he died 8/29/2021 during a Saturn period. Saturn affected the longevity, and it was afflicted by Rahu, so that is part of it. And then Rahu and Ketu were within 5 degrees of the most effective point, so they were afflicting 6 out of his 12 houses, including the 12th house, the 12th house, and several other houses dealing with his health, etc. And let's see, Venus is one of the indicators for health in his chart. It rules the first house of the body, and it was in the 12th house of endings. So there's that as well. Thank you for listening. As you can see, this transformation of Vedic astrology is very accurate. If you would like to get a reading, you can go to vastucreations.com under services. If you would like to learn transformation Vedic astrology, you can go to American Institute of Vastu.com, and we have a level 1 and a level 2. If you want to even get certified and make it a career, that is a possibility as well. And we try to teach it so it's fairly simple and easy to learn. Thank you so much for listening. Okay. One second.
And they're both injured.
Uh-oh.
So I can't do both.
Okay. Shoot. What's happening here? Did it.